This video is a continuation of the previous video, how to build 10 hero synergies in Magic Chess Go-Go Season 3. If you haven't watched that one, I highly recommend doing so before watching this one, as in that video, I explained the basics of building 10 hero synergies in mcgg Season 3, while this video is an advanced tutorial of sorts. The link to that video will be on the screen and in the description below. Now, let's begin the advanced tactics relating to 10 hero synergies in mcgg Season 3. Let me start by introducing a new concept that might be important in deciding your 10 hero lineups. This concept is what I call scaling and non-scaling synergies. As the name implies, scaling synergies are those that grow stronger as a match progresses. The Shadowcell synergy, for example, increases the damage of Shadowcell heroes for every gold spent refreshing the shop. The synergy shines in the mid to late game where almost all gold gained in a round is spent upgrading the shop. Similarly, the Aspirant synergy gives the player a faith chest that can accumulate faith points as a game progresses. When the faith chest is opened, it gives rewards based on the number of points accumulated and also increases the damage of Aspirant heroes. Likewise, the Dawnbringer synergy gives the player special equipment for every level of the synergy. The strength of these special equipment can be increased by fulfilling certain conditions to gain stacks as a game progresses, and in the late game, these equipment, if well stacked, can be the key to winning a game. These three synergies are what I refer to as scaling synergies. The other 4 10 hero factions, however, make up the non-scaling synergies. Doomsworn summons a Hanabi of different star levels based on the level of the synergy. Her stats are fixed and so her performance can only be improved using items and synergy crystals. A limitation Doomsworn players complain about a lot, though I don't see what they are complaining about when many of them play with Mia and rush golden staff like it's food or something. Similarly, the Starwing synergy enhances certain tiles on the battlefield and grants bonus stats to heroes placed on these enhanced tiles. The bonus stats granted by these enhanced tiles are fixed and so can be a good source of extra boost early on but may fall short in the late game. Also, the Luminexus synergy can link the HP of enemy heroes damaged by Luminexus heroes, sharing the damage between them and reducing their defense. This synergy description makes Luminexus one of the best support synergies in the game right now, something I will touch on more later in the video. The last synergy, Emberlord, is something of a pseudo-scaling synergy. When an Emberlord hero dies, a certain portion of their HP and hybrid attack is shared to surviving Emberlord heroes. While the proportion of HP and hybrid attack shared is fixed, the amount that is shared can be scaled by increasing the general star level of the synergy. When you look at it from this angle, that in the early game, Emberlord is relatively weak as the star level of heroes is low, but can become much stronger in the mid to late game by increasing the star level of member heroes, it can appear to be a scaling synergy. But keep in mind that the same can apply to some extent to other non-scaling synergies. That is, increasing the general star level of members can increase the efficiency of the synergy, even if not to the same extent as the Emberlord synergy. Because of this, I would refer to Emberlord as a pseudo-scaling synergy. Now, the concept of scaling synergies is understood, so the question now becomes, how does it apply to the 10 hero lineups? Remember that the general strategy I recommend for building 10 hero lineups is to combine 2 complementary factions. This means we will have to combine the scaling and non-scaling synergies, and if we do that, there can be 3 outcomes. The first is combining a scaling synergy with a non-scaling synergy. The result of this is that while the scaling synergy is still in the process of building up its strength, the non-scaling synergy provides a guaranteed bonus that can help navigate the early to mid game. The second is combining a non-scaling synergy with another non-scaling synergy. The result of this is a lineup that provides you with a massive boost from the early game, but one in which its strength can only be increased by increasing the star level of its heroes, which might make the late game tricky. The third is combining a scaling synergy with another scaling synergy. This is the most risky of all 3 combinations and quite frankly, I do not recommend it. The result is a lineup that is very weak in the early game, but if both synergies are allowed to scale, it can have more returns than the other 2 variations put together. However, there is another reason why I don't recommend combining 2 scaling synergies, and that lies in the way the final lineup is designed. Let us call the primary faction Alpha and the secondary faction Beta, the Greek letters. The most common form of a combination of these 2 factions will be 6 alpha 4 beta. My reasons for discouraging the use of scaling synergies as beta are as follows. To start with, the scaling synergies scale very weakly when not at the maximum level. The rate of gain of faith points with Aspirants is very slow at any level below maximum. For Shadowcell, the number of stacks gained by spending gold is unaffected by the synergy counter, but the value of extra damage does. The same applies to Dawnbringer. As long as you satisfy the conditions required to stack the items, you will get the stacks, but you will only have a maximum of 2 out of 3 items if you play at a sub-maximum level, which means you will be losing out on stacks for the last items. You might not understand how this prevents the use of these synergies as beta, but you will once you hear the second reason. The other reason is that all scaling synergies buff only their member heroes, while all non-scaling synergies can provide general buffs. Hanabi herself does not increase the damage of Doomsworn heroes. The Luminexus synergy reduces the defense of enemy heroes, allowing all allied heroes to do more damage, and the bonuses granted by Starwing can be used by non-member heroes even if only half of it. Let's now combine these two and see the results. If beta is a scaling synergy, the rate of scaling will be slower and only the member heroes will benefit. And if alpha also happens to be a scaling synergy, you won't have anything to use to support your lineup in the early to mid game, as both synergies have to scale, and your support synergy needs more time to become viable. If alpha is a non-scaling synergy, you might be in a better position than if both were scaling synergies. But the fact that the scaling synergy used as beta is not at maximum level means there is a soft cap on the maximum potential of the lineup. On the other hand, non-scaling synergies can provide a solid foothold in the early to mid game, and even though of course the bonus granted by sub-maximal synergies is lower than the maximum level, the fact that it is both fixed from the early game and can be shared to all heroes means that once you activate it, you can make full use of the bonuses, making it the perfect supporting lineup. From the above, it is clear that the best lineups use scaling synergies as alpha and non-scaling synergies as beta. Lineups with non-scaling synergies as both alpha and beta are also workable. What matters is that you should avoid using scaling synergies as beta. With this in mind, let's now move on to the actual game. There are 7 10 hero factions and each of them has a synergy crystal. If you are following the strategy I explained in the previous video, you will start stage 2 with one of those crystals and the faction of that crystal becomes alpha. This means at the bare minimum, we need to master 7 lineups to be ready to play the game with this strategy. And it is the purpose of this video to outline those 7 lineups and sprinkle in 3 bonus lineups so that the title of the video will not be a lie. The general rule for selecting beta is that it must have a synergy effect that complements alpha, and it must share many rules with it. Keep this in mind as we move through the lineups. However, before we proceed, I need to provide a more detailed explanation of the general strategy for playing Johnson. Starting again from round 1 of the game, the plan is to deploy any 1 gold hero and any 2 gold hero to win the creep round and pick a suitable battle spell. Of course, it is preferable to deploy the base heroes of a faction if possible, to try to increase the chances of getting a faction crystal as the first go-go card, but any 1 gold hero and any 2 gold hero will do for now. At the start of round 2, you will then pick a suitable go-go card. As mentioned in the previous video, crystal cards are the highest priority, followed by gold cards, then EXP cards, and others. If I am to upload gameplay videos, I will use them to explain how the first go-go card affects the strategy. But in this video, I will explain a general strategy that assumes you do not get a card that affects gold or EXP. Also, at the start of this round, you will have 10 gold. Sell the 2 heroes on the board and wait, which will take you to 13 gold. At the start of round 3, you will have 20 gold, and at the start of round 4, you will have 30 gold. This next section is a slight modification of the strategy I mentioned in my previous video. In round 4, spend 1 gold to upgrade to level 4 and buy 2 gold heroes and 2 1 gold heroes. The heroes do not matter at this stage, it is just an attempt to potentially reduce the damage taken from losing this round. You might be wondering why I am being specific about the rarity of the heroes. Remember that every faction has a 1 gold hero and a 2 gold hero as their base heroes. This is a way of creating the skeleton for building the base heroes of alpha and beta when they are eventually decided. It is less of a utilitarian move and more of a romantic one. That is, it's not about efficiency or effectiveness, it is about what looks good. After doing all this, you will have 23 gold. If you lose the round, you will have 33 gold at the end of the round, then 43 gold at the start of the auction. You can then buy the magic crystal chest for 20 gold. Then, at the start of stage 2, you will have 23 gold, a faction crystal that determines alpha, 4 heroes, and you will be level 4 with 6 XP away from level 5. Now you will know what alpha will be while I will highlight the specific synergies to use as beta for each alpha later in the video, but for now, let's just keep it generic. There's not much that can be done in this first round really. The best you can do is shuffle around the heroes you have in the shop to try to build a stronger board, but considering you can't spend any gold yet, there's really not much you can do. Note that you will most definitely lose the next 2 rounds, making a total of 5 round loss streak, and you will have between 50 and 60 HP left, but don't worry, it is all according to plan. In stage 2 round 2, spend 4 gold to upgrade to level 5. Then refresh the shop to try to get the base heroes for alpha and beta. After getting the 4 heroes, upgrade to level 6. Remember that while you are refreshing the shop, you are also looking for Alpha Johnny and an Alpha Blessing. However, this refresh spree only lasts for this 1 round. In stage 2 round 3, save up your gold and upgrade to level 6 in stage 2 round 4. Let's assume that you get both Johnny and the Blessing while at level 5. You will then have the base heroes of Alpha, Alpha Johnny, Alpha Blessing, and an Alpha Synergy Crystal, bringing the synergy counter to 5. In this case, your first goal of level 6 will be to add 1 more hero to trigger the 6 hero synergy as quickly as possible. This level 6 hero could be a 2 gold hero like with Luminexus, Dawnbringer, Emberlord that have 2 gold heroes, or a 3 gold hero like with Aspirants, Doomsworn, Starwing, and Shadowcell. With this, your level 6 lineup will be 6 alpha, 2 beta in the best case scenario. The things that can delay you from achieving this are delays in getting the correct journey, getting the wrong blessing, or difficulty getting the level 6 hero. You are to remain level 6 and continue refreshing the shop until one of 2 conditions is fulfilled. The first is getting all 4 base heroes and Johnny to 2-star. If you fulfill this condition, your lineup will be solid enough to either start winning or take very reduced damage, and so you can start saving up to upgrade to level 7. The second condition is if you reach stage 3 round 3. If you get to this point without fulfilling the first condition, upgrade to level 7 anyway. The reason for pushing the upgrade to this point is that otherwise your lineup will be very weak and you might lose. Because of the GoGo auction, the gold rewards for rounds from stage 2 upwards have been reduced, meaning that we generally get less gold than before. This might not be an issue for other players that are not buying out items in the auction, but because this strategy increases our early game spending, we cannot really afford to rush upgrade to higher commander levels. By waiting until stage 3 round 3 to upgrade to level 7, we give ourselves enough time to build up a stable lineup, and if that is not possible, we can upgrade very easily at this point. At the start of stage 3 round 3, you will have 30 gold at the worst, and it will cost 22 gold to go to level 7. Then, at the start of the next round, you will have 40 gold at the worst and can spend 20 gold to upgrade to level 7 while maintaining interest. Now, I have skipped the first GoGo box and the second and third GoGo cards. The priority for both second and third GoGo cards remains the same: crystal cards, gold cards, then others. However, for the third card, make sure you pick a very strong card, as this might be your last chance to do so. The first GoGo box is a very important piece of this strategy, and while some of you might not like it, it is important that you are the lowest HP in this box as well. The priority items in the first GoGo box are Alpha Crystal, Beta Crystal, Science Crystal, and other items. Let's look at why this is so. Remember that we are currently level 6 and have 6 heroes. 2 heroes from Beta, 3 heroes from Alpha, Alpha Johnny, Alpha Blessing, and Alpha Crystal, bringing us to 6 Alpha, 2 Beta at level 6, assuming everything has gone our way so far. Side note, this will rarely ever happen, but just flow with the explanation. If you get an Alpha Crystal, either from this GoGo box or from a GoGo card, this will increase the synergy counter for Alpha to 7. This means we can remove 1 hero from Alpha and add another hero from Beta to increase its counter to 3. We can then add a 4th hero from Beta when we upgrade to level 7 to ensure that we can trigger 6 Alpha, 4 Beta at level 7. If we get a Science Crystal, we can deploy 1 extra hero from Beta to increase its counter to 3, and a 4th when we upgrade to level 7 to trigger 6 Alpha, 4 Beta. If you get a Beta Crystal, you can equip the crystal on an Alpha hero, that is your core hero or just on Johnny, to increase the synergy counter for Beta to 3. Then at level 7 we can add a 4th hero from Beta to trigger 6 Alpha, 4 Beta. If we do not get any of the 3 crystals listed, it will significantly weaken our level 7 lineup. The synergy crystals are variable, but the science crystal is constant. As a result, it is very important that your HP is the lowest so you can get the science crystal and guarantee that your level 7 lineup will be strong. I keep saying level 7, but that is because level 7 is where the game really begins for Johnson. When you finally upgrade to level 7, either after completing the first or second conditions I mentioned earlier, the goal is to get Johnny to 3-star. Johnny is the heart of any lineup you are playing, and you must have him at 3-star or your lineup will be significantly weaker. Remember that the strategy reduces how much gold we have to upgrade the commander level, and so we cannot rely on getting the 4 gold and 5 gold heroes to 3-star. However, we can play with Johnny. Johnny is strong enough to carry the game with any synergy you play with. Dawnbringer, Aspirants, Shadowcell, Luminexus, Johnny can carry. The goal of level 7 is to get Johnny to 3-star. Do not upgrade the commander level until this is achieved. If you lose the game before achieving this, then that just means there was an issue somewhere. You might think you could have won if you upgraded the commander level, but that is a lie. Even if you had upgraded the commander level, the only thing that would have prevented your loss is if you had a 2-star 4 gold or 5 gold hero, which again is very unlikely to happen to you because of the gold constraints. To the end of getting Johnny to 3-star, keep every other hero at 2-star. Any hero that isn't on the board should be kept at 1-star. Refresh the shop again and again and again and again until you get Johnny to 3-star. It does not matter how long it takes to achieve this, get Johnny to 3-star or die trying. After upgrading Johnny to 3-star, immediately start saving up your gold and prepare to upgrade to commander level 9 for the final form of the lineup. There are 4 forms of the final lineup when playing with Johnny, and in this video I will refer to them as patterns A through D. In pattern A, you have 2 alpha crystals. At level 9, the final form is 10 alpha, 2 beta, but until you get all alpha heroes, you will use 6 alpha, 6 beta. However, only 2 beta heroes are important, so don't upgrade the remaining 4 beyond 1-star, and instead use that cash to refresh to find the remaining alpha heroes. You should also keep in mind that while you are using 6 alpha, 6 beta, there are only 2 alpha heroes on the board. The remaining 4 points on the synergy counter are gotten from the 2 crystals, Johnny, and the Blessing. This means technically only those 2 heroes need to be built up. The remaining 4 can be 1-star to increase the amount of gold you have to spend. Basically, you have 2 base heroes in faction alpha that are constant and another 2 in faction beta that are constant. Do you see a resemblance to what we started with at level 4? Like I said earlier, this strategy is not utilitarian but romantic. In pattern B, you have 1 alpha crystal and 1 beta crystal. At level 9, the final form will be 6 alpha, 6 beta with no possibility of getting 10 alpha. In this case, you will have 3 core alpha heroes and 5 beta heroes plus a Johnny. Remember that one of the requirements for selecting the supporting faction beta to any alpha faction is that it must have complementary roles. Therefore, ensure the alpha heroes on the board are ones that share synergy with the beta heroes and use those as your core heroes. Pick any 2, preferably 3 or 4 gold heroes, and try to get them to 3-star from here. In pattern C, you have 1 alpha crystal and a science crystal. At level 9, the final form will also be 6 alpha, 6 beta, with no possibility of getting 10 alpha. It is similar to pattern B, except that instead of 5 beta heroes, there will be 6 on the board, the science crystal providing the extra capacity to deploy the last one. In pattern D, you have only 1 alpha crystal. You will need to upgrade to level 10 to unlock the final form of 6 alpha, 6 beta, making it the most difficult to pull off because of the sheer cost of upgrading the commander level, which exemplifies the need to get one of the 3 crystals in either the first go-go box, or if you survive long enough, the second go-go box, or if the game is extended for some reason, the third go-go box. For the purposes of an average game, believe that the second go-go box, that is the box between stage 3 and stage 4, will be your last chance to get any crystals. Make sure you get at least the science crystal in one of these boxes. Now, this has been a very long section, so let's try to summarize it from the very beginning of the game. Deploy a 1 gold hero and a 2 gold hero in stage 1 round 1 to win the creep round and pick a suitable battle spell. Pick a suitable go-go card in stage 1 round 2 and sell all heroes. In stage 1 round 4, upgrade to level 4 and deploy 4 heroes from the shop, preferably 2 gold heroes and 2 1 gold heroes. Buy the magic crystal chest from the go-go auction and pick your alpha crystal. In stage 2 round 2, upgrade to level 5 and refresh to find the base heroes for your alpha and beta factions. In stage 2 round 3, pick a suitable go-go card, a suitable equipment item from the creep round and save your gold. In stage 2 round 4, upgrade to level 6 and add the 3rd hero from your alpha faction and an alpha Johnny. Continue refreshing the shop and upgrade to level 7 if you upgrade Johnny and all heroes from the alpha and beta synergies to 2-star, or you reach stage 3 round 3. In the first go-go box, the item priority is alpha crystal, science crystal, beta crystal, and other stuff. If you can get any of these items, you can trigger 6 alpha, 4 beta at level 7. In stage 3 round 3, pick a suitable Google card, and if you have not upgraded to level 7 yet, save your gold in this round. In stage 3 round 4, upgrade to level 7 if you have not. Continue refreshing the shop until you get Johnny to 3 star. After getting Johnny to 3 star, upgrade to level 9 and build the final lineup based on the following patterns. Pattern A, that is 2 alpha crystals, which will get you 6 alpha, 6 beta, that transitions to 10 alpha, 2 beta. Pattern B, that is 1 alpha crystal and 1 beta crystal, which will get you 6 alpha, 6 beta. Pattern C, that is 1 alpha crystal and 1 science crystal, which will get you 6 alpha, 6 beta. Pattern D, that is only 1 alpha crystal, which will be 6 alpha, 6 beta, but only if you upgrade to level 10. And finally, upgrade all other core heroes to 3 star. Now that we are acquainted with the in-depth strategy for Johnson, let us finally take a look first at the basic lineups for all 7 faction crystals, then 3 extra to keep the video title accurate. The biggest challenge for me was deciding which synergies are most appropriate to use as beta. Remember that the faction used as beta has to be such that it is complementary both in effect and in their rosters, and as an extra precaution, it must not be a scaling synergy. On the screen now is a table of all synergies showing how many roles they have in common with other synergies. From this, you can see that the Starwing synergy is the best synergy to use as our beta faction, as it is a simple synergy with a simple bonus. That is, it increases the HP and damage of any hero standing on the enhanced tiles. It also is not a scaling synergy, and by a beautiful twist of fate, shares 5 roles with all 3 scaling synergies. Therefore, the first 3 lineups in this list are Aspirants Starwing, Dawnbringer Starwing, and Shadowcell Starwing. Let's start with Aspirants Starwing. The base heroes are Layla and Ruby for the Aspirants, and Atlas and Matilda for the Starwing. Our Johnny will be Aspirants, and our Blessing should also be Aspirants. The Aspirants crystal obtained from the auction will be equipped on Matilda for now. If we get all these, we can add Fanny at level 6 to trigger 6 Aspirants, 2 Starwing. While refreshing the shop at level 6, you might find the 4 gold heroes for both synergies, in which case there will be some replacements. Saber can replace Atlas to trigger Swordsman with Fanny. Changi can replace Layla to trigger Stargazer with Matilda. Your move at level 7 depends on which pattern you manage to achieve from the first Go-Go box. For pattern A, replace Ruby with Atlas and add Belleric to trigger 6 Aspirants, 4 Starwing. For pattern B, redeploy Atlas and equip the Starwing crystal on Johnson. For pattern C, redeploy Atlas and add Belleric. For pattern D, redeploy Atlas. The final lineup at level 9 for each lineup from here can then be seen as: for pattern A, add Nana and Harley to trigger 6 Aspirants, 6 Starwing, and when it's time to trigger 10 Aspirants, 2 Starwing, replace Atlas, Belleric, Nana, and Harley with Layla, Ruby, Leslie, and Angela. For pattern B, add Nana and Harley. For pattern C, also add Nana and Harley. And for pattern D, add Nana, Harley, and Belleric. I will now quickly show the remaining 9 lineups on the screen. You can pause the video and take your time looking at each of them. We have Shadowcell Starwing, Dawnbringer Starwing, Luminexus Doomsworn, Doomsworn Luminexus, Starwing Luminexus, Aspirants Luminexus, Dawnbringer Luminexus, and Shadowcell Luminexus. Now you will notice that every synergy goes well with Luminexus. That is because it has a very simple general effect skill that can work with anything. It is also non-scaling and shares at least 3 roles with every other synergy, making it the perfect support. However, you will notice that the Emberlord was not mentioned in this list. That is because I need to specially discuss this synergy. If I'm being honest, right now the Emberlord synergy is very weak, too weak to be viable. Now don't get me wrong, when built around Moskov can carry, Moskov will carry. But the problem now is that no other hero in the synergy can carry. In the last season we had Kaja and Gord, but now we have Martis and Scammers. The carry potential is just not there, which means you will be frantically searching for a Moskov all game. As such, the Emberlord synergy will be played in a slightly different manner than the other synergies. Instead of combining 2 factions, the Emberlord lineup combines the Emberlord faction with the Marksman role. I tried combining Emberlord with Doomsworn, but the lineup didn't pick up until I got Irithel. This was what made me consider the possibility of just going with Marksman, and while it is very hard to pull off, it works. Now, I would recommend hoping that you don't have to play Emberlord, but in case you have to, here's the plan. The base heroes are Badang and Balmond for the Emberlord, and Layla and Granger for the Marksman. Our journey will be Emberlord, and our blessing should also be Emberlord. The Emberlord crystal obtained from the auction will be equipped on Granger. If you get all these, we can add Khalid at level 6 to trigger 6 Emberlord. Layla can be replaced with Clint, and Granger can be replaced with Irithel. Thamos and Martis can be used to replace any of the Emberlord heroes, but this should only be done if they are 2-star. Because of the way the Emberlord synergy works, it is best to ensure that you have better stats on the board. So if a 2-star Balmond has more HP and physical attack than the 1-star Martis, keep the Balmond. We're not expecting the Emberlord heroes to carry the game. Their role is to die and be food for our Marksman. Our moves at level 7 are as follows. For pattern A, that is 2 Emberlord crystals. Replace Khalid with a Marksman and deploy any other Marksman to trigger 6 Emberlord for Marksman. For pattern B, which in this case would be an Emberlord crystal and a Marksman crystal, add a 4th Marksman to trigger 6 Emberlord for Marksman. For pattern C, that is an Emberlord crystal and a Science crystal, add 2 Marksman heroes. For pattern D, that is only 1 Emberlord crystal, add 1 more Emberlord hero. To be honest, you can refrain from triggering 4 Marksman for now and instead deploy more Emberlord heroes even if they don't trigger extra synergies so that, like I mentioned before, they can die and serve as food for our Marksmen. Whenever you get Moskov, replace any other Marksman hero with him. This will increase the Emberlord synergy to 7. I would recommend replacing one of the Emberlord heroes with a Weapon Master, Argus for Doomsworn or Alpha for Shadeweaver. The final lineup can then be either 6 Marksman, 6 Emberlord, 2 Weapon Master, or 10 Emberlord, 2 Marksman, 2 Weapon Master. Admittedly, it is a very difficult lineup to pull off, but Moskov is very strong, so once completed, it does wonders. And with that, we have come to the end of this very long video about the strongest possible lineups for using Johnson to get 10 hero synergies in Magic Chess Go-Go Season 3. Let me know what you think of the video and of Johnson as a commander for building 10 hero synergies in the game. Let me know what other combinations you think can work for this strategy. Don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.